Welcome to the Webster Insider's Holiday Edition. I'm JC Bethel.
And I'm Gabrielle Lindemann. It's the most wonderful time of the year, but many students need to clear one more hurdle before they can fully take in the season.
That's right. Reporter Brian Rubin joins us live to explain. Brian?
JC, there's this thing called final exams, and with finals week upon us, it can be overwhelming for some to concentrate on the task at hand.
Need to focus for finals? A good first stop is the Reg Academic Resource Center.
The Reg Academic Resource Center, which is affectionately known as the ARC, provides the academic support for all of Webster's students. So we service students here in Webster Groves as well as online and internationally.
Located across from Marletto's, the ARC provides assistance in everything from academic integrity, tutoring, and writing help, with tutors offering a plethora of options to make sure you're fully prepared to tackle finals.
As a writing coach, I think my biggest study tips are planning ahead and managing your time, because with writing projects, teachers typically give it to you like 3 or 4 weeks in advance, and you feel like you have all this time to get it done. But so then you kind of just let the deadline creep up on you, and it becomes a problem. So just kind of planning ahead and managing like a specific time you're going to get these things done to make sure that it gets done.
While the ARC provides a great resource for many students, the end of the semester can be a busy time, and sometimes the center runs out of appointments. Students still need to study, but where else can they go? Sophomore Ariel Nash tells us why Sverdrup Hall is a great place to study too.
It was a very big, peaceful area, and of course, it's where I meet all my friends. It's where they always cross paths with me. But like I said, with study buddies, you don't want to be too loud in a quiet building, so you just come here in Sverdrup, which is just a very relaxing spot.
Others prefer the tranquil setting of the Emerson Library right in the center of campus.
I study in the library because it's quiet and it's a different environment from home, because there's a lot of distractions at home, whereas in a library, you're more focused.
Regardless of where you go and how you do it, take advantage of the academic resources Webster offers, as well as the spaces in and around campus that can provide you with an ideal place to hit the books. For the Webster Insider, I'm Brian Rubin.
And while the holidays may be here, the feasting and the festivities do not extend to everyone. Hunger remains a serious concern among college students, and here at Webster, it's no exception. Ann Garrity Rathert, a professor in the Department of Law, Crime, and Social Justice, started Webster's first on-campus food pantry. Grab-and-go items such as emergency snacks and canned food, as well as clothes, shoes, and other items, are there for those who need them. But the shelves don't stay stocked for too long.
As almost as soon as we put the food into the food pantry on the shelves, it's gone. And in the last year and a few months of this year, that has been more dramatic, I suppose. So there are often times when I put food on the shelves in the food pantry, walk down the hall, walk back by it 2 or 3 hours later, and almost everything is gone, which suggests that people are waiting, right? They're waiting to have access to the food. And so I it's very troubling, because I hate to think of the fact that maybe somebody would go in there and there wouldn't be anything for them.
Data from a study this time last year revealed inflation and grocery prices have impacted the donation of food, especially during the holiday season, as there was an almost 20% decline in giving to food banks.
And so mostly donations are what we're looking for at this point. We don't really have a mechanism by which we collect money.
With food insecurity a major concern for college students, the need for donations at the pantry is year-round. The pantry, located in room 329 at Webster Hall, is looking for non-perishable food items, as well as clothing and toiletry items. The Willow Project Food Pantry in Webster Hall is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, except for the last week of December when the university is closed for winter break. However, there's a donation box inside the main entryway of Webster Hall that's always accessible for donations at any time.
Webster's commitment to feeding the hungry extends beyond campus. Reporter Cass Herndon is here to tell us about a community service program in Soulard with a strong Webster connection. Cass?
Gabby, once a month, nursing professor Jody Spees leads a contingent of students, faculty, and staff to St. Peter and Paul Church Kitchen to participate in a Feed the Homeless initiative. More than 30 years ago, Webster faculty and staff helped start a project to feed the homeless at St. Peter and Paul. Although not run by the university, Webster's nursing program played a big role in making the kitchen what it is today.
Our program, our students are already nurses, so they already have nursing skills and things like that. So to be able to offer them experiences like this that can change the way they think, because we want them to think about the patients that are coming into their hospitals and where they're sending them home to. And just to be cognizant of the fact that not everyone has a safe home to go to. And when we tell people they need to eat healthy and they need to, walk in their neighborhoods and do things to promote a healthy lifestyle, they might not have that choice. So I find it's eye-opening to the students.
Spies started volunteering over 8 years ago, taking over the role her mentors held before her. A Webster colleague, retired adjunct professor Larry Fuhrer, has been participating in the program for more than 10 years.
When you volunteer, you're helping other people. But the interesting thing is you're helping yourself, maybe even more than that. Because there's a lot of satisfaction to doing it. It makes you feel good about yourself. And that's why I think students would really benefit from doing it.
This month, the program takes place on Monday, December 16th, and continues once a month every month. For more information or to volunteer, email Jody Spies. Otherwise, walk-ins are welcome at the St. Peter and Paul Kitchen on the dates listed. For the Webster Insider, I'm Cass Herndon.
In other news, safety should always be a priority in and around campus, especially if you're relatively new to the area and want to do some exploring. Webster Insider's Numerai reports.
The campus of Webster University has always been a safe place for students, faculty, and staff. But that doesn't mean you stop being aware of your surroundings.
We do have some areas back behind the parking garage, back around the pond, that does not have a lot of lighting. That's why we ask students to try to avoid those areas. There are signs.
Campuses across the country are also currently within the so-called red zone, the period of time from fall orientation to winter break when students, especially those new to campus, are most vulnerable to sexual assault. Certain crimes also spike during this time of year.
This time of year, with it being darker a little bit earlier, we suggest, don't travel alone. If you're out on campus, try to go in groups. Try to go with a friend. Off campus, same way. You know what I mean? Don't go to, any local establishments by yourself.
Hale adds overall, the biggest issues on campus with regard to safety involve motor vehicle accidents, random harassment or stalking, and the occasional fire alarm in the dorms. Still, most students agree taking caution should always be a priority.
Even though I've experienced no issues with safety, it doesn't mean that people still aren't worried. Definitely, we all have our phones on us. So whether you're talking to someone in a walk to and from buildings in the evening, or just traveling in groups, I would say that, just always, have your phone charged.
As soon as a student is admitted to Webster University, the student is automatically enrolled into public safety's emergency channels. This means students, as well as faculty and staff, get emergency alerts via email and text. The university's Web Guardian phone app also circulates any active alerts on campus.
During the evening hours, I feel pretty much safe because the public safety and the police cars are always doing a roundup around the campus. So even if you are walking outside during the evening hour, you will see them passing by making the roundup. So you feel pretty much safe.
If you ever feel unsafe or notice anything suspicious about your surroundings, do not hesitate to call 911. You can also use the blue boxes around campus to automatically connect to public safety. Back to you.
Thank you, Numa. In sports, the Lady Gorloks kicked off their season last month and are on pace to win big again this year. They say there's no I in team. That couldn't be truer for the women's basketball team.
We got a great group of returners that have won us a lot of games and been part of some special teams. And, we got 3 transfers and 5 freshmen. So, it's how do you mesh, right? And so the nice thing about the preseason, these 30 practices, is figuring out dynamics of who plays well, where's the chemistry. And that's kind of what we're going through right now. So we're excited about the potential that we've got.
Those returning seniors lead by example and help the newcomers acclimate to the team.
Freshmen, you're worried about what's practice like, what's going to school like on game day, what's shoot around like. So they're helping them do that. We've got seniors that are inviting them over for freshman dinners, kind of making them more comfortable. But then in practice, it's like, here's the standard. This is what we do. This is how we guard. This is what the pace of practice is. So they're kind of getting it on the court, but it's more of off the court of just by communication and being compassionate and understanding, like, I was there. Today, I had a hard day. Seniors can relate to that.
How I lead, I feel like, is a little bit different or how I help the younger players. I think I'm more of a softer kind of leader or encouraging kind of, and I think I'm working on my leadership in that way too, the balance of like being encouraging and being demanding though, and holding them accountable as well.
Well, they give us pointers about, the little things. You got to do this way, or, hustle in between drills, stuff like that. Always talk. And then, they push us too.
In order to gel as a team on the court, the players make a point to bond off court. Team dinners, pumpkin carving, even hiking as a group to connect and grow as a team. My teammates are important to me because they're people that I can lean on. They encourage me and motivate me and support me throughout the season. It's a really long season, and we all go through ups and downs. Like, life is still going on outside of basketball, and so it's really helpful to have people that know what you're going through and understand what you're going through every single day, that can help you on the court when you need it, and outside of the court when you just need like shoulder, a hug, whatever that may be. And so I think my teammates have like really become like family to me, and they're who I'm closest to now. Coming up, the team has 2 away games in Nashville against Babson College and Lynchburg, as well as a home game on Monday, December 30th against Knox College.
For almost all student athletes, trying to balance academics, sports, and a healthy social life can feel like there just isn't enough time in the day. Webster Insider's Drew Koenig joins us with more. Drew?
JC, the NCAA has approximately 520,000 student athletes at the collegiate level. 241 of them are here at Webster, and their main challenge is aligning academics with athletics.
Time is a major commitment in athletics. Student athletes at the Division III level spend an average of 40 hours a week on schoolwork. In addition, they spend 28 hours a week on average practicing, traveling to, and competing at games.
A lot of our student athletes also have, you guys are all lifting, you're down with Coach Seitz, you have that in the mornings, you have potentially film, some may have film sessions. A lot of our student athletes have part-time jobs, as well as, whether it's work study or they're working off campus.
In a 2020 NCAA study, 87% of former Division III athletes agreed or strongly agreed they were academically challenged while in college.
With every year, it's gotten a little bit better. Freshman year, definitely there were some procrastination issues, but as I got less and less time and more assignments, then it really had to crack down and get going.
Definitely say prioritize the schoolwork first, and then know that there's always going to be that opportunity to go out with your friends and stuff and just hang out with them, but there's never going to be that time to go back and make sure you don't regret not doing that homework and that studying when you get to that time of when it's due.
If you ask most student athletes, they'll tell you they love their sport. However, this love for the game can sometimes come at a cost to their mental health and well-being. One study shows almost half of student athletes experience symptoms of depression, with 100% of those surveyed listing personal pressure as a contributing factor, while more than 3/4 say it's their top reason for feeling depressed.
Definitely learned that, yes, athletics is important, but you also need to know that balancing that school and athletic life is more important than just going out and doing whatever you want. So I definitely learned a lot quickly, just because it helps manages stress a lot. So
If you stay disciplined in the classroom, then it relates to practice. You work hard at practice, you work hard on your assignments, and it directly translates. If I'm struggling in school, then especially mentally it messes with me on the field, because you want to do good in both, and it sucks to have bad grades and play, because then maybe you can't play. So you gotta lock in.
So I think time management is a very important skill to make sure that you're understanding, you're staying organized, you're planning your day out to know what time you have to devote to maintaining your classwork and being able to get things done by their deadlines.
For the Webster Insider, I'm Drew Koenig.
Finding your first job after college can be difficult, but once you realize your calling, the possibilities can be endless. Reporter Lila Halabashich checks in on a Webster alum who lets her creativity be her guide. Lila?
Thanks, Gabby. Working your dream career just out of school may seem out of reach, but Webster alum Rachel Baker had an inkling of sorts, creating her own success as an artist after graduation.
Rachel Baker initially studied animation while at Webster, but during her senior year in 2021, a revelation. She realized she wanted to pursue tattoo artistry professionally.
I think learning animation definitely helped become more well-rounded artistically. The style that I liked doing in animation was stop motion. So I was doing a lot of weird stuff, a lot of like creepy stuff, and that kind of like helped form my tastes for art in general as well.
Rachel had some themes in her work that was a little bit dark. That even is like when students say their work is dark or edgy today, I'm still like, nah, not really. But Rachel was kind of in that vein that I could truly appreciate as subjectively as a person or as a teacher, when I generally have to be objective across the board and like develop everybody's style. That's what I think. That's one of the things that I enjoyed about her.
My favorite style is black work. All that like dot work kind of stuff, that's my favorite. It's kind of illustrative, kind of like old style illustrations is what I like. If you look at like the old Alice in Wonderlands and stuff like that, they've got like the hatch shading and the dot work stuff. I really like that.
While Baker knew early on she wanted to pursue art, she never expected to put ink onto anything other than paper. She realized the importance of being flexible and open to anything.
So I was having a very hard time finding internships around here with animation, but I wanted to keep doing something artistic. So I decided to try and look for a tattoo apprenticeship. It was hard. Finding apprenticeships is difficult, but I got kind of lucky. And then I do really like helping people express themselves. With tattoos, I feel like it's very meaningful for a lot of people, and I'm very grateful to be able to bring that to them.
First of all, I was saying being unsure is absolutely normal. Secondly, be open to as many avenues as you can find. Be ready to pivot. It's never a straight line. I only know a few cases where it has been. But you bounce around. You try new things, kind of like when you're coming to college. You try different classes on, you like things, maybe you don't like things. Maybe you take a job, you don't like the job, and then you move to a different one, but that one job gives you the contact that gets you into the next one.
Just keep trying other different stuff. That's how I got here. I figured if I didn't like tattooing or I wasn't learning it well, I would just try something else. I think that's a good mentality to have. Just keep trying new things.
For the Webster Insider, I'm Lila Halbushich.
When prospective students and their families visit Webster, a lot of questions are bound to come up. Is Webster the right fit? What makes it stand out from all the others? But perhaps the most pressing of all, what in the world is a Gorlok? Reporter Chloe Sapp has been working hard to find answers. Chloe?
Gabby, the Gorlok turns 40 this year. Often described as a mythical creature, the university mascot was designed by students and staff in a contest held by the Webster Journal in 1984.
The bright yellow horned beast combines the paws of a cheetah, horns of a buffalo, and the face of a St. Bernard to form its one-of-a-kind look. A fixture at major events on campus, the Gorlok has traditionally relied on a couple of students to fulfill its mascot duties. Now you may be wondering, can I be the Gorlok? Well, you can try. Auditions are planned in February, so if you've ever dreamed of suiting up in that iconic costume, now's your chance.
And when I got here and I saw the Gorlok, and it was the coolest costume I've ever seen. Like, that mascot is spectacular. I mean, no one has a Gorlok, right? And no one knows what a Gorlok is, so it's a great opportunity to put Webster out there. But there wasn't really a focus on it.
Blazer oversees the new Gorlok program initiative. For the upcoming auditions, he says judges will be looking for students who meet the height requirement, as well as have the ability to move well in the costume and bring animation and high energy to the role.
The Gorlok mascot is a really energetic presence, and whenever he shows up to any event on campus, you know it's about to get crazy. Like at Glowfest, when that Gorlok mascot showed up, you knew we were having a dance circle around that Gorlok mascot.
When he was an undergrad a few years ago, Justin McCoy donned the Gorlok suit for a St. Louis Battlehawks game, where he competed against a youth football team at halftime.
It was an interesting day. You can take a lot of hits from kids in football gear in that thing and not feel any pain. So I was happy to wear that. But yeah, it was cool. I was representing our university, and once you hop in that Gorlok suit, you just feel the pride of Lock Nation.
Blazer, who has previous experience working for the mascot program at Six Flags, encourages students to audition for the paid position. He says an email with a sign-up sheet will be sent out the first week of the spring semester.
When you are doing that and you see a little kid walk up with a smile, if you're doing that, it's the most rewarding experience to see a young child get excited about seeing you and getting a hug and a high five, or you see the scared kid or the scared person that doesn't want to come up to you but waves from a distance. It's rewarding.
For the Webster Insider, I'm Chloe Sapp.
And finally, the countdown to the official start of winter break has begun. Anticipating the holidays can be an exciting time, as evident around campus. We asked a few students how they plan to celebrate.
Since I'm an international student, I'm planning to stay on campus during winter break with my friends, and maybe I'll go visit another state with them too. I was planning to go see Chicago and maybe New York.
For Christmas, I'm going to Miami and then going to see my family.
I'm going to celebrate it with my friends out there, and I'm an international student. I'm not going back home. Probably will be back by then, and I'm going to celebrate it with them, maybe like going to another state, doing a road trip, like singing song on the road.
My plans for the holidays include going home to Mobile, Alabama, because I've been missing home for a while. My first semester at college has been a little long, but having basically a whole month at home is going to be like refreshing for me. So when I come back, I'm still not as expired from all the homework and schoolwork.
The fall semester winds down December 13th when all classes end. Spring is just around the corner, and before you know it, the spring semester will begin.
That's right, JC. Spring 2025 officially starts January 13th, exactly 1 month after this current semester wraps up. Speaking of which, it's a wrap for the holiday edition of the Webster Insider. I'm Gabrielle Lindemann.
And I'm JC Bethel. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you in the spring.